Hello, I'm Brad Hewitt, and with me is Tim Schwan. I'm the CEO of Thrivent Financial for Lutherans, and Tim is the Vice President of Church and Community Relations. And we're here to actually help celebrate Kindle's 10-year anniversary, and we're honored to do that. We're going to do that by looking back, talking about the values and the mission, and then looking ahead. Tim, can you believe it's been 10 years since Kindle started?
No, it's really hard to believe. And I also want to offer my words of congratulations to Kindle for 10 years of developing leaders in the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. When Kindle was launched in 2004, I'm not sure many of us could have envisioned that 10 years later, that 104 Kindle associates would have been trained in servant leadership, that 95% of those associates would continue to be in congregational ministries even today, and that Kindle associates would have combined to train over 1,000 lay leaders in servant leadership, to be servant leaders in their church and in their community. Nor would we have believed, probably, a lot of us envisioned that they would have an endowment built that is helping them to sustain their ministry at this point in time.
That's great, Tim. As I think about it, is that 10 years, we've both been committed, both Thrivent and Kindle have been committed to strong, healthy, dynamic congregations, and Kindle has done a great service in these 10 years to help build that up. We both are committed to servant leadership and understand that leadership and leadership development is critical for any kind of organization, but especially congregational ministry and team ministry. And to, frankly, teamwork. Kindle's been a great teamwork partner with Thrivent over the years as we've looked at different ways to serve congregations around leadership training and development. So we've known from the beginning that our members love strong, healthy congregations, and Kindle has been a wonderful way for us to do that together. So now let's switch from the past to the mission today and the values. And Tim, why don't you reflect a little bit on some of those values? You come from a DCE background, and how does it relate to you?
Well, thanks for asking, Brad. There's definitely a soft spot in my heart for Kindle and for the DCE ministry. And as I was thinking about this 10 years that Kindle's been involved in building the leadership of DCEs, I reflected back to those days back in the 70s when I was DCE in Lexington, Nebraska, serving in a team ministry with David Block. And we were blessed at that time to encounter people like Leroy Wilkie and Rich Bimler and Bill Karpinko and Will Taves and other people really helped lift up and build DCE ministry as being an important part of team ministry. I think I would have benefited a lot from being involved in the Kindle Servant Leadership Development Program, but I also feel that I was blessed to have experienced the legacy of leadership that's being built by these great leaders in the church. And when I think about the Kindle core values, I'm drawn to this one that they stayed on DCE ministry, that lifting up its character and its spirit and the impact that it has on LCMS congregations.
Yeah, I agree. Congregations, servant leadership, and the one that connected for me was wellness. It's part of it's in our mission too, and this idea of having wellness as a team, as a leader, and for the people you're serving, to me is a wonderful way to think about how you connect congregation, servant leader, and wellness, both with our mission and with Kindle's mission. So now let's think about the next 10 years. As I look forward 10 years, Thrivent will be still working alongside congregations. We pray working with the people who've graduated through the Kindle process and program, and that we will be continuing to lift up the stewardship journey for our members, and we think Kindle and its programs will help us create that advocacy with the leaders. So as you look ahead, what do you see, Tim?
Well, 2010 is 10 years from now, 2020 is a long ways away. And our hope and prayer, my hope and prayer for Kindle ministry is that the Lord will continue to bless you with ministry success, that the DCEs and the lay leaders who are touched and equipped and energized by the Kindle program and the Kindle people will find ways to continue to create vibrancy in the mission and ministry of Lutheran congregations. And I also hope and pray that 10 years from now, Thrivent members, Thrivent employees, Thrivent leaders will again be celebrating the achievement of many new milestones in Kindle's history.
Right, that's great. Well, to close, I'd like to quote from Ken Blanchard in Leadership by the Book. In that he writes, "Leaders who are servants first will assume leadership only if they see it as the best way to serve. They are called to lead rather than driven because they naturally want to be helpful. They aren't possessive of their position. They view it as an act of stewardship rather than ownership." I want to thank Kindle for actually helping its leaders, our leaders, to both live and lead lives of that kind of servant leadership. Thank you.